Hey guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Leaks and Theories. Kind of. This one is very much about the Nintendo Switch 2, which has been announced. We knew it was coming, quite frankly. It was always all but announced. But it's finally announced. It's finally been announced, and they've done it in the most Nintendo way possible. It is brilliant. It's so funny. But if you do want to keep up to all Pokemon related news and sometimes Nintendo related news like today, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on because you'll be the first person to be notified when these news come out. But apart from that, let's just get straight into it. So this tweet was announced at 10 to 8, my local time in Britain, in the morning by the Nintendo Limited Company, the Japanese version of the account, which basically means it was very much in later on in the day for them. But they are saying this is Furukawa. I probably butchered that. President of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor to the Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. And if you don't know what a fiscal year is, it's very much similar. In Britain, we basically call it a tax year, and it runs from April to April. It's the business sort of year in a sense. It will be over 9 years since we announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We'll be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding Nintendo Switch software lineup for the latter half of 2024. But please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation. And quite frankly, this is a very smart/dumb post to make. It's the announcement essentially of a brand new console, and they've done it in the most lackadaisy tweets possible. It's the most Nintendo thing ever. From just to bong a tweet out, they probably should make this amazing announcement video. But basically, they are addressing the fact that it won't be in next month's Nintendo Direct, which a lot of people will be expecting. But quite frankly, if they're saying that this console will be announced within basically by the end of March next year, there's no point of them announcing this so soon, which is good and bad at the same time. Are we expecting it to come out at the start of next year then? Is this going to be a latter half of next year sort of deal, which is very, very interesting and quite, if anything, a bit concerning, because if we're not going to be having this early next year, when are we going to be having Pokemon Legends ZA? Is this game going to be coming out in the latter half of next year? That's the concern at the moment. But Nintendo Leaks has basically said, Nintendo Switch confirmed successor will be revealed before March 25, and general Nintendo Direct coming in June, which is still very good, quite frankly. The fact that we got a Nintendo Direct coming in June, and they are saying that it will be including normal Switch games for the latter half of 2024, meaning we could still be getting Pokemon games this year, which is great. And we're going to read some of the comments here. This person's very happy. Announced before March 2025, that's way too far away. This console is already a year late from now. Quite frankly, it's not really late. The Switch has done fine, to be fair. I'm not too mad about how bad it's going to look. We will have a Direct on June, but there'll be no Switch successor announcement. It makes sense because it's so far away. It's probably in not relatively early development. It's probably quite late in development by now, but they probably just don't want to announce it just yet because they want to keep up the hype, and it's quite a good way of building hype, quite frankly, to be fair to them. They'll keep dragging it. I'm on my way to not caring about it anymore, killing all the hype. Quite conveniently the opposite of what I just said. Twitch has been on live support for a while. I do disagree. I disagree, quite frankly, because I think, granted, the issue with the Switch is there's nothing wrong with the only issue with the Switch is there's not many games for it. The Switch games, they come out very slowly. They don't keep up with the PlayStation, for example. That's the only issue I've got with it. But Pokemon games, that's the only reason I use my Switch, coming out very slowly. And at the moment I'm playing a lot on my DS and playing Soul Silver at the moment. But I don't think that's an issue specifically with the Switch, in my opinion. I think they just need more games on it, which won't improve with the Switch 2. They're going to have to be a bit more creative when it comes to the new games. The successor, not goddamn Switch 2. We know it's not going to be called Switch 2. It's such an awful name if it's called Nintendo. I mean, I guess you got PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I can't imagine it be called the Switch 2. It'll probably be called like that unofficially, but I can't imagine them actually just calling the Nintendo Switch 2 for Nintendo Switch 2. We've had leaks that it's going to be called something along the lines of Switch Select or something like that. So we're going to probably have a name like that. So moving on, we've got a tweet by Light, and they're saying that Pokemon Legends ZA will be announced for the Nintendo Switch 2. Can't wait for the game to look something like this. Which, quite frankly, if it looked something like this, it would look absolutely stunning for a start. But the issue is, once again, if they're expecting this game to be coming out, well, they're expecting the Nintendo Switch to be announced by March of next year, then realistically the Switch itself won't be coming out until summer, like earliest next year, maybe even Christmas time. Quite frankly, they've never done a Christmas release on the Switch. It was always, the first Switch was released in the summer, and the OLED was released in March. So quite frankly, there's nothing saying that they won't do a Christmas release. Maybe they'll complete the triad, if you want to say, and basically release it in they'll release it in Christmas time. But I probably see it a summer release, to be honest with you, because think of it in the sense of, you know, a lot of people go on holiday in the summer, and one of the gimmicks about the Switch is you can take it away with you on holiday. Because when I went to Germany, I took it with me. Did I play it? No, but I did take it with me, and that's basically what the Switch is made for, essentially. So that's probably why they'll be releasing it for them. But obviously, with Pokemon Legends ZA apparently only being released on the Switch 2, we're gonna have to wait a bit longer for it, unfortunately. And this person says, "Is this playable on the first Switch?" We don't know yet. So this, once again, we don't know. Did you not watch the reveal trailer? Well, I mean, to be fair, they did say Nintendo Switch up the top in the corner here, so maybe I could be wrong, quite frankly. It won't. The game has been in development of a cycle of 3 years, same as Pokemon Legends Arceus. It'll probably most likely look like this. Don't diss Pokemon Legends Arceus. That game was phenomenal. Do not diss my baby. That is my game, okay? Well, it's not, I didn't make it, but I love that game, okay? Don't diss my game. That's one of my favorite ever Pokemon games. No, it won't. Not a single Pokemon game has been a launch title on the new system. Very true. They always come in at the earliest a year later. Makes a lot more sense for this to be the last game on the Switch in early 2025, and then Generation 10 for the 30th anniversary late 2026 on the new system. I completely and utterly agree. That is a phenomenal tweet, Papa Smith. What a boy. That is a great tweet, and that's a great point. They've never released a Pokemon game as a title release for console, which once again, kind of a bit dumb, but also at the same time, I guess they're kind of working on the game to make it as best as possible. Then there's no excuse for how bad some of the games have been. I mean, to be fair, I think on the Switch, the only bad game we've had is Scarlet and Violet, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to say Let's Go, but I really, really enjoyed Let's Go. But I'm gonna have to tweet him back saying, brilliant point. I completely and utterly agree with this person. But you unblock. Oh, have I? That's cool. But no, essentially, we're probably going to be. That's a really good point. Legends Arceus will probably be released. Legends ZA will probably be released on Nintendo Switch normal, and then get a later Generation 10, for example, be released on Nintendo Switch 2 as kind of like the promotion of it as well. Moving on over to Soul Silver Art, and this one's quite a different one. I kind of view Soul Silver Art not really much as a leaker, kind of more of a theorist. Which there's not wrong with that. I quite like the Soul Silver Art's tweets. I won't lie to you. But here we go, because basically they've said a lot, quite frankly. So we've got quite a bit to get through. So we'll probably start off with this first one. Okay, I did not realize it was going to be... buckle your seats, my friends. Buckle your seats. Big changes today. I waited too long for part 3, but here it is. Pokemon Legends ZA coming in 2025. What does that mean for Generation 10? They will probably do a repeat of Pokemon Legends Arceus / Generation 9. The Pokemon Company doesn't like to repeat, but to surprise. Well, they asked him, will they? Still, everything seems to point to it being the way. The biggest mystery is, will Pokemon Legends ZA have competitive PvP? Obviously, Legends Arceus doesn't. If it doesn't, can VCG stay on SV or Scarlet and Violet all the way to November 26th? They've kind of done this before, but it's just too long. Can anything survive? Can anything Scarlet and Violet survive until late 2026? Probably not. Can Pokemon Horizons have enough story arcs from Scarlet and Violet and possible Legends ZA to the last 26? No. Can the Pokemon trading card game keep going with just Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon Legends ZA to late 2026? No, probably. Well, no, it can't. No, if you look at the cycle. Can Pokemon Company go too long without making a new gen level kind of payday? No. Money runs the show, as we know. Yeah, very true. Can Pokemon fans make it that long without all of this? I admit we fans have been spoiled in recent years with the amount of content, but we're already into year 2 of Generation 9, and it's probably more than I'm forgetting. In reality, Game Freak's Team A should already be developing Generation 10. They probably already are. They have been stuck to the 3-year cycle consistently for years now, even in the midst of COVID and more, meaning by this logic, Generation 10 should come out in 2025. Maybe not. I can't see it coming out next year. Which, like I said in part 2, the quote tweet, makes it seem like Pokemon Legends ZA would be earlier 2025 and Generation 10 be later in the year, like they did with Arceus and Scarlet and Violet. Yet, there are 4 variables that confuse the situation greatly. 2026 is the 30th year of Pokemon. This is huge. Just remember what they did for Generation 7. 3 decades of this franchise is going strong. It's going to be a remarkable accomplishment. Game Freak knows that what they've done with Scarlet and Violet, cutting content and how it functioned, and they've surely heard fans calling them to take more time, plus all the hateful controversy. The new Nintendo console should be releasing somewhere in this time frame, so not only are they going to be developing a new generation, but they're probably trying to get to know of this new console and doing it there, or not. It depends on its release date specs, either way it's a factor in Generation 10 will be. Same as the Switch, or made new for a new console. I think the last tweet was very good. I think they'll release Pokemon Legends ZA early on Nintendo Switch. It'll probably be the last game for Nintendo Switch, and then it'll release probably Generation 10 for Nintendo Switch 2. I think that's more likely what they'll do. I think I stick to my point. That is a great tweet. That's turned my head completely. Lastly, a lesser point, but they will know we have Pokemon Legends ZA and possibly a Generation 5 game to hold us over if they want to take more time. They probably could push these more to give themselves more time. So there are 2 sides to all this, and it's a tough one to call. For me, Generation 10 and the 30th just don't go too well together, but at the same time, it's such a long wait. I can see them doing Generation 10 for the 30th year anniversary, quite frankly. But then they retweeted saying, well, no one will guess right without any help, lol. Also, it's important to note, I'm pretty sure the announcement about the Switch success within the fiscal year is from now until April 2025, so we'll see exactly when all this happens. Could be sooner than we think. Like I said, I don't think they actually know much about leaking. They kind of over theorist, but I quite like it as a theorist. So Soul Silver Art, if you see this, I'm not dissing you. I go to every single video, so quite frankly, I am most certainly not dissing you. Anyways, so there is there it is. After 3 delays, it's finally time. I wonder if anyone can guess what the Pokemon Company has in store for this entire situation. I don't think anyone will guess right. But like I said in the post attached, obviously down there, with the release of the Switch successor probably being mid-to-late 2025, that makes it very interesting for new Pokemon games in 2025. And they've quote retweeted this again. This of course means the Pokemon Legends ZA would be on the Nintendo Switch 2, but I wouldn't count on this. I still think it will be on the current Switch, but I could always be wrong. But in my opinion, and if we're fortunate, at most, it will be released on both consoles. It might be released on both consoles. I don't think that's a terrible idea, but I do agree with that last tweet. It's very Pokemon. Pokemon always go in a year late. Essentially, they've done it for years. They've done it for many consoles now. But moving on to this post, and that's basically what they're saying about it is that they just want this Nintendo Switch 2 to be able to do future Pokemon games justice while having a normal frame rate. Is this reasonable? Well, I disagree. It's not Nintendo's fault. This is more Game Freak fault, quite frankly. If we look at Zelda's phenomenal. It looks brilliant on that game because they put time into it. That's the key. They put time into it. So I think that that's not a really fair point to make. I think it's not really. I think it's more on Game Freak, quite frankly. I don't think it's on Nintendo Switch 2. But I mean, look how good that looks. By the way, that looks absolutely stunning. I don't know where that's from, but I mean, I imagine that's maybe BDSP. It looks phenomenal, does it not? Moving on over to Central Leaks, and they have got a leak. God, this is a leaks and theories video at its fullest. We've got announcements, we've got leaks, we've got theories. This is brilliant, and they've said new leak. Our well-known Pokemon leaker claims that 3 Pokemon projects have already been greenlit for the Switch successor. And this comment makes me laugh. Whereas I saw it when I was I can't find it. Basically, the comment said essentially, "Oh, the leak Pokemon games on Nintendo Switch, great leak." But it is quite a big leak. 3 games, which we know are being greenlit, and that doesn't mean that we're only getting 3 games. We could be more than likely getting 5 or 6. Quite frankly, think of how many we had on Nintendo Switch. Pokemon Let's Go, Sword Shield, Legends Arceus, BDSP, Scarlet and Violet. You've got to think of a Mystery Dungeon. That's 6 right there. And there's, if you want to count maybe Smash, the Pokemon DX tournament game, that's 7. There's a lot of the bloody Detective Pikachu 2, which will probably be on Nintendo Switch. I'm going to count that. That's 8. So we're going to be getting a lot of Pokemon content, including that project, whatever it means. Including that project, which has been referenced on Central East before, means Generation 10, they're saying. And Light replies saying, Pokemon Legends ZA and Generation 10 are 2 of them. What's the 3rd game? Who knows? Who knows? And there's the safe the safest Switch leak ever. Switch Leak 2 will have Pokemon games. Brilliant. Generation 10 on Nintendo Switch 2 will be good, and we'll also need a new Pokemon remake on there too. Very true. An SAM, Pokemon Legends Edit, a new Pokemon main series, a Pokemon spin-off / remake, probably a remake of Black and White. I imagine, to be fair. Someone saying Pokemon Unite 2, Pokemon Generation 10, Generation 10 Ketchup and Mayonnaise, Black Space and White Stars, Pokemon Legends Z to A. Pokemon Generation 10 is an obvious one. Pokemon Legends Z to A is the last for the Switch 1, far as I recall correctly. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is a good guess. A remake of the Generation 5 or Let's Go in Johto are two possible titles too. My wish is a turn-based tactical RPG like Pokemon Conquest. I mean, that would be really, really cool. Possibilities endless. Pokepark free. Pokepark, by the way, is a phenomenal game. I should probably play that for a video. New stadium game, new Rangers game, new Mystery Dungeon, Generation 10. Pokemon Legends a new Ilka game, new IP. I don't know, correct. I'm not sure what IP is in Pokemon in the sense. New series, either a one-off or a new genre. Bring back Let's Go, please. Bring back Let's Go. I need Let's Go. Please. That's just all I want in life is just Pokemon Let's Go, Johto. I want to go back to Johto. I haven't been back to Johto since 2010. Let me go back to Johto. I was 7 years old, man. Like, you know, give me a break. But no, that is all we got time for today. Nintendo Switch 2 has been announced. Make sure to smash the like button for that. That is insane. And what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. But have a good day. Goodbye.